Yeah, I'm just I'm slurping on a coffee and eating a brownie. I'll be ready in a minute. Good day to you, mate. Yum yum. It was a Morrison's the best chocolate brownie. They're pretty good. Pretty good. Don't have any vanilla ice cream at the moment, unfortunately. Otherwise, warm brownies and vanilla ice cream, typically top tier. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just gonna check my cat and then we'll start. Who made the train? Right. Is this gonna work? Oh no. Just like fortune teller told me, or my head will disappear. Hello! I'm BoredGamer. Pardon me. So we start streams. Just cough at you. Apologies. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you are hyped for Alpha 3.23. And I suppose you're more adjacently hyped for 3.22.1, which lots of stuff is being tested in. So, yeah. What should we start with? Anyone wants to ask a question during the live stream? Question in brackets. Talk about what you will. We can talk about Todd Pappy leaving CIG, although there's not much to say. He's left. We haven't got a statement exactly why. CIG won't comment on anything to do like that to do with their employees, because they respect their privacy, and I suggest that effectively that we do the same. It's a shame that Todd Pappy's left. I do think he's a great guy. I think he has done some great work for CIG for the many years he's been working there. 9 years he's been working there. It'd be interesting to see who fills that void. Some people have suggested Tony Sorovic, but we'll see, I suppose. But I genuinely wish him best in whatever he moves on to. Todd Pappy, good chap, and from what I'm aware of anyway. And hopefully he's not some sort of serial game destroyer. I don't know. No, he seemed like a good chap. People seem to generally like him as well. So I think that there's danger in speculating on why he would leave or why he's left and everything, because we're not going to know, right? Unless Todd specifically tells us, we're not really going to know. And as I said, CIG won't comment on it because that's their policy. It's genuinely fair enough. And people will come up with ideas. People will pretend they know why, but we don't. And I don't. I asked some of my sources, and they basically went, because I was like, I'm not. Is there anything we should be aware of or anything? And I was like, can't comment. Won't comment on any of our. And this is people that would typically give me potentially leaks or whatever as well, or potentially insider information. Just highly stum about it. So, which is the correct thing to do, right? Yeah, shame. But he's a good chap, and hopefully he goes on to do some other great stuff in gaming. Hope everyone else is doing well though. Did the raft cargo boxes become movable this patch or in the next patch? So, as far as I'm aware, they should be functional, be moved in 3.23. They should. Obviously, I don't know that for certain. But they should be fully functional for the resistant hangars and freight elevators. Trying to think if there's been any statement on that, but I believe that's the case. I mean, look, I'm a perfect egg shape from the front, perfect potato from the side. It's just weird life, strange. Yeah. So, Plan Imperium 3.22.1 stuff. They're testing the new Overdrive set of missions. I'd say dynamic event, but it's sort of more plays like a set of missions, at least at the moment, where lots of people can actually technically do them simultaneously in lots of different phases. It's a 5-step mission, basically, that leads on to Zenith Threat. And there's load going on. It's a proper vertical slice of loads of different missions, sort of all splodged together throughout, so you get to experience a load of the different missions in a mission set, from data heists to bounty hunts to an assault on Korea to a resupplying Jericho. I thought you could move raft boxes in the last patch. Did you? I don't have a raft. I messed around with the raft. I've not moved any boxes in it, so potentially it's already there. I just didn't think it was. Hello. Yeah, brownies and ice cream, genuinely best combo. So Todd Pappy was director of Star Citizen Live. So basically, he was he coordinated all the teams together working on Star Citizen Live for the persistent universe. Did he actually produce anything himself? No, he was director. He's just making sure everyone's on the same. It's a very high level job. Making sure everyone's on the same page and making sure everyone's brought into vision and basically getting that stuff, making sure it's done appropriately. The last time we saw him properly was at CitizenCon talking about base building. I'm interested to see who fills that void. Do you think we're going to be getting a new character creator soon? Yes, new character creator with Alpha 3.23. So with that, there's a new UI. There's DNA sculpting with a load more heads, a load more features to sculpt from. I believe it's at some point it will have code sharing. I can't remember if you could save your character. Hello, thank you very much, Shoggy. I appreciate you becoming a board gamer. Genuinely appreciated using the subscribe button in Twitch or using the join button in YouTube. It does genuinely help the channel. What was I saying? Character creator, yes. So new UI at some point, might be in 3.23, and you're going to be able to save the effective code of your character and then just copy and paste that code, and it will share what the character looks like and all that sort of jazz. That's going to be at some point. But there's new heads, loads of new hairstyles, facial hair, and the ability to dye hair, Did they have tattoos in that build? I can't remember. There's makeup. There's a load of new stuff for that character creator. And I believe that also then propagates out to all the NPCs at the same time, so you have a huge amount more diversity in NPCs. With no ships releasing with the current event, do you think they'll have a ship release event before Fleet Week or Alien Week, or will they load those events up with new ships? I think we're going to see some new ships with 3.23. I think we're going to see some new ships with Fleet Week. And potentially we could see a new ship at Alien Week as well, but Fleet Week is typically where they will release a few. We'll see some. So their focus isn't necessarily on releasing tons of ships themselves at the moment. They want to get Squadron 42 out the door. They are genuinely trying to get the persistent universe into the best possible state they can. So, yes, still some new ships. And so you'll see some new ships, and you'll see some ships that are just ready as well. But yeah, some straight to flyable. I think Benoit Bézigeour would be good to take over for Todd. Potentially. I think he's... Do you know what? Benoit might be a genuinely good choice. Certainly of a similar level position. I think they'd want... So, Benoit might be great for America and Canada. They probably want someone in the UK as well with a similar position. So, Tony Z's job. I can't remember what Tony Z's title is. Bear with me. But basically, Tony Z was working on the dynamic economy and quanta system and dynamic universe simulation, which isn't being used properly at the moment in game. It lives on its own microcosm in its own sort of like enclosed environment, and they're still working. So this has sort of what's happening in the universe represented appropriately to the players as they move around the universe. So encounters that they might have, and named NPCs, what NPCs flying about and fighting things, they might happen upon that. They might get attacked by pirates. What are those pirates' loadouts? Why are they there? Oh, they've killed a player. Well, actually now that's effectively a named pirate that the system knows has done some infamy, and there's bounty hunting missions generated based on what's going on in the verse, and that's all makes sense in verse. And then that affects their economy. Everything is basically produced somewhere and then carried somewhere, and so you literally have the material resources going to the correct things, to the nodes that produce like the refined materials, and then the actual component, and then those components will be put into ships and all that sort of jazz, and that's how everything's then priced dynamically. So it's actually quite a huge amount of stuff, and bringing it all together. And Tony Z seemed very genius about all of that, but it's been a long road for that. I've not been playing in the Persistent Universe for the live build. I've played a reasonable amount in Arena Commander with Coin Collector. Really enjoy Gun Rush, really enjoy Coin Collector. It's a good laugh. I'm reasonably good at Coin Collector just because people just seem to have very similar meta loadouts, and I love running around with a shotgun and a machine gun and just sort of listening. So very much in Star Citizen, in FPS, listening is the way to go for winning, because it's first to react will normally get the kill, and first to react can get a kill before the other person can react properly a lot of the time. A lot of problems with hit prediction and stuff like that at the moment. It's not the most refined experience for sure. It is a good laugh. And what do you think of the new landing zones after seeing the preview on Inside Star Citizen? Are the new landing zones in Evo already? So, two things I can talk about here. Evocati build at the moment is not publicly shared, so we'll talk about that a lot more when they actively share the first set of Evocati patch notes. Because what's happened, Clan Imperium are basically saying, look, they didn't say this exact thing. We know that the Evocati patch notes get leaked everywhere. So we're taking back control, and they are demystifying the Evocati. They're saying we're publicly sharing the Evocati patch notes, and you can talk about them. Even people that are NDA'd can talk about those patch notes. So we're publicly sharing them. Going to be talking about Evocati more. We're demystifying it all. Awesome. You still can't share images or videos of Evocati stuff, or in-game audio from Evocati and some other privileged stuff, probably. But much more free reign in talking about it. Fantastic for people like me that go, yes, I'm not nerfed because I'm in Evocati. So that is genuinely great to hear. However, they have not actually. There are some Evocati patch notes out there, but they haven't released those publicly yet. So I'm waiting for them to be released publicly before talking specifically about the patch really soon. But it appears as well that Tyler Zylo basically said, actually you can talk about what's happening in Evocati kind of as well. They can sort of join in the discussion as long as you're not sharing pictures, images, videos, audio from in-game. You can sort of discuss what you've been doing in Evo for the most part. So obviously that stuff might change. Don't 100% quote me on that. But that appears to be the situation that we're in now, which is absolutely awesome. It's Cloud Imperium taking control. Can you tell us about your recent Evocati things? There was not much going on in Evocati. The 3.22.1 is where it's at for a lot of the testing at the moment. The 3.23 patch was basically stability, and this is the container for the patch, rather than much going on when I last played it. But most recently, I've been playing a load of 3.22.1, and that's because of them trying to do the Idris tests. So they're trying to do boarding of Idrises, and they basically a couple of times went, "Come and get us! Try and wrestle control of this Idris from us without blowing it up." And unfortunately, lots of times they tried that, people blowed up, either because they're noobs or because they're unaware of exactly what they're doing, or there's a too small a window of the Idris being in soft death, being destroyed. Yeah, stuff like that, right? But there are now people saying, yes, we're able to actually get on board the Idris, well, the NPC Idrises or player Idrises or whatever, or spawned Idrises. And there's an interior, and they've been running around and stuff like that. So those tests are going well. And there's obviously that new Overdrive pre-Xenothreat event that they're also running. So yeah, really, that's been quite cool. But there's a load more stuff in 3.22.1 as well. Ton of updates to master modes. It's in Pirate Swarm now. Load more ships there. Huge amount of balance changes and tweaks. You can do the co-op stuff as well in Arena Commander in master modes now. So yeah, it's really good fun. Very easy to aim. Even with the Vanguard that's still got fixed. It's going to have fixed aiming. Compared to everything being gimbaled and stuff that's plans for 3.23, it's pretty good. It's pretty good fun. It's interesting to see what you think of it at the moment, because it's still unrefined. People might be like too small a ceiling, too high a floor, too low a ceiling, too high a floor, sort of compressing everyone down into a group for dogfighting, which I don't see. As long as there's still a reasonable ceiling, and as long as there's the skill floor is reasonable as well, I don't see too much problem in making some things a bit more arcadey or gamified, or going, well, actually, even if you're an ace pilot, you shouldn't be able to fight against 8 ships simultaneously, right? There are limitations. But that's just my view on it. I mean, yeah, I love the fact that the Evocati patch notes have lost their NDA, or they've basically CIG are softening the NDA on that specific thing. With the updated metrics, do you think that the Retaliator bomber will undergo significant changes like the early Cutlass 300i and Mustang redesigns did? So, there's going to be some tweaks there for sure. And obviously the Retaliator, they're making it modular. They're making a cargo, making it so it's got cargo variant and all that sort of stuff in the not too distant future. But it needs some updates. All ships will receive a gold pass, and obviously needs to be made ready for the physicalized components and all that sort of jazz. So all ships are going to get a bit of an update. Is the replication layer coming with 3.23? It is roughly planned for the 3.23 cycle. So it's in. They're planning for it to be completed at some point during 3.23 cycle at the moment. Got pushed off from 3.22. Yeah, so I'm hoping that the water effect does become a bit more subtle as well. So we saw that a minute ago in the video there. I think it was a little bit too aggressive. Do you think the replication layer split has been more challenging than originally thought? Yes. It was going to be challenging. It's certainly a major thing. It is sort of the last step before server meshing and is effectively almost server meshing. Like, they literally just need to plug in more servers, which they can sort of test almost at the same time to have server meshing. May that further delay 4.0? Maybe. There's lots of other stuff that could further delay 4.0. So they are roughly planning 4.0 for a summer release at the moment as well, which would be probably the next major patch after 3.23, which is supposed to be a spring release in April. When we use wormholes to get from one system to another, if we don't get through the wormhole properly, what happens? Do we blow up or get left stranded in space? Do we get back to the wormhole and keep trying to go to our destination? I'm not 100% sure. So we know there's a new quantum travel system that they're going to be putting in, which will have you, while you're accelerating into quantum, you'll have to sort of keep your ship within the quantum tunnel. When it comes to wormholes and jump points going to different systems, they've talked briefly about if you don't do the jump properly, you can damage your ship, or you might be come out not exactly where you want. So you'll be like far away from where the jump point was, but still probably not destroyed. Is it possible to be destroying them? Maybe. We don't 100% know how CIG are going to handle this. I suspect there's going to be a reasonable level of you want to do it right. If you don't do it right, you can damage your ship. It's going to cost you some time and some distance. You might be stranded. But I doubt they'll just go, you're dead. Because there could be disconnects and other stuff happening there, right? They don't want it to be too aggressively harsh because people will just be like, this game is unfair and unfun. But Death of a Spaceman's a thing. Mortality's a thing. With the Evocati patch notes now going to be released publicly by CG, but the NDA for Evocati members still in effect. What's your thoughts on that? So the messaging for it all is that Evocati are free to talk about what as soon as they release those first set of public patch notes. Technically, probably right now, but I'll skirt on the side of caution. There's not much to tell with the current Evocati patch notes. Saying, so yeah, you basically, it doesn't matter that they're NDA'd, right? They're able to freely talk about those patch notes, whatever. They're basically not allowed to share images, videos, and in-game audio of Evocati builds. You're allowed to talk about the patches. You're allowed to share talk about the patch notes, and yeah, it looked like, from what I can tell, Xylo was saying. That yeah, you'll be able to talk about what you're actually testing in Evocati even. So cool. I'm really happy with that. Like that's kind of what I want. Since they did boarding and Idris, can we assume that the Idris is in-game ready to be soon to be released? You can assume that, but I wouldn't say that's necessarily accurate. So it's in a much better state than it ever has been, and it's getting closer. So they do plan to release the Idris, well, they last said, with Squadron 42. So it will be the Idris P, M, and the K kit as well. So could we get it before Squadron? It's possible, but they are said with Squadron. And then the javelin after. Do you expect player orgs to get full ownership of those new landing areas as part of base building? Oh, no. So it's possible that there'll be some that are vacant, effectively, or otherwise destroyed or abandoned. But a lot of them are going to be owned by an org, right? By Grey Cat or Cryastro or something like that. So I don't think they're directly related to base building, although I suppose you could potentially have a base near-ish a distribution centre, and that might be beneficial. With the updated metrics, do you think the Retaliator bomber will undergo significant changes? Like we talked about that earlier. Oh, something I did see in that Inside Star Citizen they talked about was having bombing run missions for as part of the distribution centres, and I was like, that's kind of cool because that's a mission related directly to bombers. Awesome. Do you think we'll see creatures in 3.23? I don't believe so. We could potentially see boids, which would be like birds, fish, bugs, things like that. But I do not believe any creatures are coming in 3.23 beyond that. If indeed them at all. You might see some like the stone bugs and things like that. Some harvestables, which are effectively creatures, and like I suppose they've got like in Pyro and stuff. They've got the maggots that crawl around, the grubs, which you can eat. Mining and salvage have been touched up. Engineering is in progress. Any idea what the next game loops on the horizon are? So obviously all the new stuff with distribution centers. I think that there's a load of updates coming to Bounty Hunting. Bounty Hunting version 2 looks like it's pretty close. Obviously there's 3.23 cargo hauling as a actual mission, like larger scale. Lots of lots of cargo updates. I think it's Bounty Hunting is the next major one. They're sort of building towards as well with the star map and everything. More exploration and science-based type content as well. But you'll see that lots of little missions that come in there. Data running and hacking is a good call as well for something that could come in the quite near proximate future. Base building they want in to some degree at the end of the year. So there's a lot going on this year. Have they said anything about the possible release date of Squadron? So it's in its polishing phase, and they've hinted there's some big announcements for CitizenCon this year, and you're not going to want to miss it. So it's probably going to be a release date announced at CitizenCon and a load and the start of the marketing campaign for it. They're going to go, it's basically ready. Here's a release date. We're just going to do some final touch-ups. That would be my expectation. But there's no actual release date or anything like that yet. Can you PvP while inside a jump point tunnel? I do not believe so. I'm assuming they will be instantized for people. Otherwise, that will be monstrous. Or that would be cool to all jump together. I think it's cute. Hello. I like the idea of metal detectors in Star Citizen. I want treasure hunting. Give me treasure hunting. More and more treasure hunting. In your opinion, what are the odds that Squadron 42 will flop? Good question. So, with the core audience and the people that Squadron 42 is for, and anyone that likes Wing Commander, I think it will be a 20 out of 10. They will be like, oh my god, best game ever. Yeah? I don't think it will flop for any of the core audience. I think that the question is, how appealing is it to mainstream gamers? And really, is it a good game if you kind of like those sort of games? Anyway. I think that anything below a 9.5 out of 10 would be a disservice to the amount of time and effort they put into Squadron 42. I hope it gets there. I do think it's going to get a lot of sales. I think that it's obviously got a huge amount of talent behind it as well. And I'm talking about actors that are actually participating in it as like the interactive movie portions of the game. I do think that's going to be quite appealing to some people. I mean, and what do you define as a flop as well? Is it going to be as big as a PUBG or something like that? No, not at all. It's not that sort of game, Squadron 42. It's single player. But I do think it's going to capture not just a niche, it's going to capture a large portion of the market. A lot of people are going to go, this is a fantastic game. This is awesome. This is a modern day tribute to Wing Commander, while also giving me feels of Half-Life 2 and when I first played it. Things like that. That's the sort of expectation of what people will say. This is Call of Duty Infinite Warfare if it was done right. Oh no! I punched my pop guard off my mic in joy. That's the sort of thing. But is it possible that it could be a flop? Yeah, it's possible. I mean, if it has a huge amount of bugs or something doesn't work properly in it, yeah, that'd be pretty bad, right? That's the sort of things that Squadron 42 could suffer from. It's a very complex game. Do Evocati testers have extra Squadron 42 info than us normies? Not really at the moment, as far as I'm aware. It's possible that some Evocati members will be able to play Squadron 42 for like the stress testing just before it's released. They sort of mentioned a while ago that might be a thing they do. But I think that'd be very sensible for CIG to do. Do an NDA'd, very closed, I say very closed, a reasonably closed test of Squadron so that they can test stuff. Because bugs are what's going to cause it to lose points, in my opinion, from ratings. If Squadron 42 flops, do you expect any chance for CIG to abandon flops? Good question. If it did flop, no, they'd keep on going. Because even if it flops, they'll make the money, right? Because the core audience will still pay for it. The core audience will be like, no, we still want it. Because they loved it and enjoyed it. And the flop would come from bugs or it not being like mainstream. In a lot of people's minds, Squadron 42 is already the best game ever. Okay? That core audience and a lot of people that give CIG a lot of money, that's what they want. They want that game. And even if it's not perfect, it's still going to be the closest to what they want of any game that's ever been. You know what I mean? Do you see what I'm trying to say? Do you hear what I'm throwing down? I think Squadron 42 is a catalyst to bring more players into Star Citizen. Yeah, 100%. So obviously some people just want single player, some people want multiplayer. So some people aren't going to play either. They're going to play one or the other. Some people aren't going to play either. I'm going to play one or the other. So a lot of people are going to play both, and they're going to try and connect those games. They are going to try and bring as many people in as possible from Squadron 42 that play it into Star Citizen's persistent universe, because that's where they're going to make more money. Because they're going to make more money from you buying ships and buying in-game currency and however else they monetize it. Because Star Citizen, Squadron 42, single player, one-off purchase. Star Citizen, persistent universe, live product, lots of opportunity for more money making. If the universe is so big, then why won't it fight me? I like that. What do you think is the role for light fighters with masterminds? Do you think they can reach the goal with the current vision? So, light fighters should be pretty agile and should be able to engage and harass ships. And I suppose it depends on the light fighter and depends on its loadout as well. So there's a lot of interesting fights that you can have with light, medium, and heavy fighters, right? Like a light fighter or multiple light fighters can be very deadly to a heavy fighter, but medium fighters might be able to brawl with them and take them out reasonably easy. There's a little bounce that sort of goes on there. I'm not sure what the specific goal for light fighters is currently. That's a good point, because I do have a lot of that stuff in my notes. However, they're updating master modes now at the moment with archetypes and fighter stuff in mind. and they're still working that out. So very soon, we should have a much more specific, this is what light fighters, medium fighters, and heavy fighters are, and this is the differentiation between them in groups. Because obviously there's going to be interceptors and stuff as well, kind of as part of light fighters. G12 coming for Stella Fortuna. Maybe it's previously announced vehicle. That's near completion. Oh, potentially. So we've got Stella Fortuna, we've got Triggerfish, we've got 3.23. I have read many fellow backers' complaints about CIG's customer service cramping on them. What can we do to fix this relationship? So, I don't know the specifics of everyone's customer service issues. Sometimes you get the wrong rep. Sometimes the point isn't argued appropriately. Sometimes you're just not getting the resolution you want, even though that's part of their policy. I've had great times with customer service for the most part. Is that partly because I'm me and they treat me better? Maybe. Is it because I've got concierge and they treat me better through that? Maybe. Is it because I've just been lucky? Potentially. I don't know. So, obviously, people that have bad time with customer service should be able to vent and talk about that. That's important, because sometimes it's going to be the customer service operator that's at fault. Sometimes it's going to be the company policy that's at fault. Sometimes it's going to be the backer that's effectively not able to get what they want, but no one's at fault there. But I don't know. It's a good question. There's always Star Citizen refunds. No, that was a joke. I don't know. What is the sort of recourse for publicly discussing that? Like on a forum or something. You should be able to talk about it officially on Star Citizen forums, right? As long as you sort of are concise, clear, and reasonable, and not angry, and not, I don't know. It's a difficult one, right? So you need to be able to discuss it. You need to be able to talk about it. There needs to be a resolution. I suppose the best thing to do is make a complaint to CIG. Go, cool, don't want to talk to customer service, I want to talk to the complaints team, and I want you to follow up. I'd say that's the best course of action, quite genuinely. And I suppose if you still feel shit on afterwards, then talk to more people about it. See if they were also getting shit on. Because basically, if I hear that tons of people are being inappropriately treated by CIG customer service or whatever, and I look into it and I go, actually they are, then I'll make a video on it. I'll talk about it as well. I've certainly heard of isolated cases where customer service have done not treated the customer correctly, for sure. That's a good point. I'm not sure if there is actually an official complaints team. But you can certainly put in a complaint and say, I want to lodge an official complaint about this, because there has to be resolutions for that within that company. Do you see all the videos from people that boarded the Idris last night? Yes, I saw a few of them. It's like, oh, awesome. Because hopefully Zin and I will be able to get involved with Overdrive and Idris boarding over the weekend at some point. Although we're also going to be playing Palworld. Because I want to be playing Palworld over the last couple of days. But my one of our other best mates that plays it with us was spending some time with her husband because it was Valentine's Day or something. So we haven't been able to play Palworld in the last couple of days. But I have been playing, other than Star Citizen, quite a lot of Star Citizen actually recently. I've been playing Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, which I love Survivor-like games. I love Vampire Survivors. I love a billion other Survivor games. Hollow Cure. Stuff like that. Yeah. All good fun. different question. What does your end game look like? So that's an interesting question, because Star Citizen Endgame is a bit obscure at the moment, right? So I want to be base building and doing industry for the most part, and then occasionally participating in fleet battles and that sort of stuff, where I'm relatively safe, but I can go murderize a load of stuff and feel cool because I'm in a high-powered ship or on a capital ship or whatever. So that's the sort of end game for me. They talked about raids for the distribution centers being part of end game type stuff, but there's a load of stuff, right? I do want to do exploration. I do want to do a little bit of everything in Star Citizen. End game isn't fully defined yet by CIG or what I want from it. Because I just want to be able to jump in and do some cool stuff and increase my fortune in Star Citizen. Random bit, but do you know which team owns the rescue transport and med assist beacons? What dev team? No, not at the moment. The thing is, it core gameplay, but I don't think it will be at the moment. Because Star Citizen is planning to have everyone on a mega server. How will they balance out the costs of servers if a large swathe of 1 or 2 people play in remote areas? We'll have to see how dynamic server meshing works, right? Because they may divide it into regions. And they talked about shards and shard affinity as well. So the goal would be, if possible, single mega server. If that's not possible, then region-based or some sort of hybrid solution. I did have a Valentine's Day date. I was playing Deep Rock Galactic Survivor and starting a 3D printing business. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be proactive. The replication layer demo was epic. So the engine demo was epic. The replication layer demo was good and functional and made me sort of happy. It was like, cool, this works. Will there be an auction facility or general chat? So, interesting. I do think there's going to be system-wide chat on your mobiGlas. There's like apps and stuff that you can get. I would expect there to be auctions and marketplaces. I appreciate all the kind words. Thank you very much. So what I want from Star Citizen community and the game and everything is for everyone to get involved as much as they can now to help have the game that they want made, have their inputs listened to. I mean, even if your input's not listened to, it's still going into the melting pot, so people have to be aware of it. And I want Star Citizen 2 eventually release, and it to be a fantastic, great game that I play for at least a decade longer. Until I'm, like, really hard of seeing, we just this old, hairy potato. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Squadron 42. I mean, I'm looking forward to every major patch release and all the events they do as well. I absolutely love Star Citizen and the Star Citizen community. I love the sales, I love the new ships, I sort of love everything. It's this year looks absolutely fantastic as well. Seeing the UK is in an official recession, you guys can accept Bitcoin donation now. Do I not have a Bitcoin link in my my videos? Accept donations. I'll put something up. Hope you're doing well, sir. Yeah, so there's a Star Citizen Live that starts in about 15 minutes. What is this week's Star Citizen Live on? I believe it's a live Q&A. Live QA on play interaction, EVA, players interacting with us, that sort of stuff. Actually, looking for questions, EVA, personal interaction, and more. Yeah. Things like, will we keep our momentum if we jump out of a moving ship in space? Can we eventually unlock and open ships via mobiGlas like I do on 2024 on my phone? Will we select a level / hangar in an elevator with the new system? Will we be able to turn off? Do not enter by Zinnia. Oh. I was in the wrong audio channel. Zin had to move me into the recording channel. That's appreciated. Because okay, so we run a private audio server for me and my mates, and Zin and I use it for work, but and for other people use it for recording and streaming within our sort of group. But someone could have just come in here and, I don't know, said some spicy things. Zin has to get some props for that. Thanks, Zin. You're the best. Not so good that you get another raise, but pretty good. Found out it's Worker Appreciation Day on the 1st of March as well. So Zin and I are going up to a bar citizen. We're going to go up to watch June. Hopefully see some people, some of our friends up in Manchester. Then there's a bar citizen the next day that we're attending. Some other mates as well. It'll be a good laugh. I'm not going to be drinking so much this bar citizen because I got very drunk last time. I won't be. I'll be good this time. And then I'm off to Leeds for a couple of days to house hunt. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing some more Power World. I think there's Small Land as well that's just been released. And later on this month, there's Sons of the Forest, which is getting its full release. Oh! Very excited with Sons of the Forest. Do you think server meshing is the biggest hurdle to allow friends from logging out another player's ship and persisting in there? So, that's a really good question. I am not sure how exactly that's going to work. So especially with capital ships and stuff, right? Well, the owner logs out. Well, that ship's still there and everyone else can fly it. But what if you don't have the permissions to fly it? I suppose there needs to be a permission system that allows for your crewmates that don't have permissions technically to get permissions if you are dead or if you log out. Right? Somehow? Because otherwise you just go, yeah, you can all be on my ship and be gunners. Cool, yeah. And now I'm going to decide to fly my ship into the sun. What you going to do? Oh no. It's DC stand up. So Andrew in the channel is also known as DC. You can see him there. And he is Zin's partner. I've outed you now for who you are. You're a monster, you see. I appreciate that, J-Bird. Thank you very much. Are you star? I appreciate the capital love. Hopefully DC will be making a Star Citizen controller device in the future. He makes fantastic fighting pads at the moment called bento boxes. They're cool little things. If you like playing Tekken 8, maybe you should buy one. I would give you mod on my channel, DC, but I'm not sure if you'd understand how to use it and may cause damage with it. No, we're going to, in a minute, we are going to stop the stream because Star Citizen Live is about to start. Are we really in official recession? I know, maybe. My £10 loaf of bread. Blah. That's it. 2 quarters of negative economic growth, right? For recession. I mean, I want house prices to come down. That would be a big recession. DC's the most the smartest boy I know. He's also he sends me he sends me memes. They're all inappropriate because he'll send me something he's seen on Twitter that's a dumb thing, and I look at it thinking it's important, and then realise I've lost half an hour's worth of thought process because I've been distracted. We're official recessioning. recessions. Right. Any other questions? So, Alpha 3.23, some point in April. Load of cool stuff with that patch now. It's in Evocati, but it's not much to talk about with its Evocati phase at the moment. But they are demystifying Evocati, and they're going to start sharing those patch notes publicly. Evocati members will be able to talk about that stuff. They just won't be able to share visuals and in-game audio and stuff like that. But awesome. Really excited for that. Great change. Good idea, CIG. What else? 3.22.1. Testing that overdrive event. Cool. They've got new master mode updates in there. Awesome. They've got Gravlev races in there as well. They've been doing the Idris boarding stuff for, we're not 100% sure why, but maybe there's going to be some missions that we can get involved with. All Spotlight coming soon this month. So, I need to, and I will try and do this after this video, after this the stream, this one. I need to talk to an org that I've got planned to be in the Spotlight. Do you think Todd Babby will join us on the backer side? I hope he doesn't entirely leave the project, as in, I hope he remains backer and plays the game. And we don't know what's happened, but as I said, I wish the man good luck. Yeah, fingers crossed for Idris boarding missions. Yeah, part of bounty hunting and stuff, right? That'd be great. Or an already damaged Idris, sort of board. Cool, great. How do you prevent players coming along and ruining your day, though, and just blowing it up? Board and chat, thoughts on data running minigame. Once you've liberated data, you have some sort of mini puzzle to decode. This could also be a bad condition if you want. So there's going to be hacking and stuff. I think there's going to be data as cargo and putting data sort of in computers, maybe stacking it in some way. You could have some mini games with that, but you might not need them. Just the interface itself might be interesting enough. And then the missions itself, I mean, the hacking gameplay is forgetting the data and that sort of stuff might be enough. There could be some e-war stuff involved with it as well. Do you have concerns about the economy changes after the price increases of ships? No. I mean, they need to keep on updating the economy. These are all temporary economy fixes and sort of tweaks to the economy to get more information, right? So hopefully it's a good economy update. We'll see once it's in our hands. I'm always concerned slightly by everything. Do you think that the 3.22.1 patch will be accompanied by wipe? I think it will have a mini wipe. So no long-term persistence database wipes, but lots of other little things will get wiped like they always do. 3.23. 3.23 is more likely to have a wipe because of the replication layer and because of a load of changes. But CRG will try and keep stuff across if they can. We'll wait and see. Right. Bear with me 1 second, because I will switch you over to the Star Citizen Twitch, and then we'll do a quick wrap up. Boop. Citizen. Are they not live yet? Yeah, they've gone live. Of course they have. Of course they have. /raid. Boop. Perfect. Right. Thank you genuinely for watching me. Inside Star Citizen is about to... Inside Star Citizen Live is about to start. But thank you very much for the donations, the subs, and your questions, and having a chat with me today. It's appreciated. We'll be getting a couple of videos out today. One on 3.22.1 and Inside Star Citizen Distribution Center stuff. But also, we're talking about... We don't release the griefing video yet. And a video about griefing. BIG's stance on that. Yes, BIG's stance on griefing. But yes, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for all the support. Hope you have a great weekend, guys. Obviously, we'll be producing a load more videos over the weekend, news and Citizen's Law and all that sort of jazz.